what we're looking at here, and this isn't where you all might start, is two different instances of Slack. So I've used Slack for work for maybe 3 years, just before the pandemic. And when I was there, it was just under one group. So can you see my cursor circling around the Marin Cyclist logo here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in the left bar here, these are the different work groups. And you can see here, it says add workspaces. For the purposes of most of you, you'll probably only have one, unless maybe you have Slack for work, in which case you would see another one. So you see this one here that says bike counterculture. That's a different Slack group that I was introduced to the product. Pardon me? Yep. So as you can see here, there's the Marin Cyclists and there's the bicycle counterculture or bike counterculture. So this was the first group that I joined. And when I toggle onto that, let me see here. Okay, now it brings up another set of people here. So I'm just kind of scrolling through a thread, which is a discussion. And what I mean by this is that there's, within Slack, it's a closed group. So it's like social media, but it's only for a set number of users, and you have to get an invite, as many of you have seen, and you're only going to be discussing among people within your own group. So the Marin Cyclists will never see the bike counterculture and vice versa. So if I go into the Marin Cyclists, the way that you can see them there is because it's outlined in white. So again, you guys won't have to worry about that aspect at all. But the main place where you'll have most of the activity is going to be on the right-hand column here under the channels. So now within the channels here, you can see that there's, maybe a dozen different groups that I'm subscribed to on the channels. When you start, you might not have any channels to begin with, but it might suggest there's a Slack bot, and the Slack bot is kind of like the virtual assistant that might say, hey, you want to try and join these channels. If you haven't got the general channel, that's the one that everybody wants to start off with. And as you can see, it's highlighted in white, which means that there are unread messages within the general channel. So right now, the bar in blue says that I'm in all DMs. That's direct messages. We'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to click onto the general channel. And once I click on that, it shows a chronology of all of the posts that are there. So if you can see, it has it going in reverse order. So from today is the most recent. And then Steve here has a, Slack Zoom is underway. And then looks like Shauna made a comment. So anybody can go make a post into any of these channels that they're subscribed to. And as you see, the general topic, it's just whatever you want to talk about within the club. That's probably not a topic in other channels here. So just to kind of go through, why would you want to have general versus ride planning or gravel planning? So if we go into let's say we go into the AB ride planning. In this channel, here's the chronology starting from the 21st. So that was the last post from Lorraine talking about the Morgan Territory ride that she did on Saturday. If we scroll up, we can see all the other posts of people looking to find out, okay, who's leading a ride, who's putting it on the calendar, what's the route, those kind of things can all get answered. Now, when a post is made, people can react to that with, smiley faces or stars or sunglasses. So for example, you can hit this reaction button to add a reaction, and I can do like a high five. And so then all of a sudden you see there is the high five. Okay, and then also it shows Mark just joined the AB ride planning. So to join a channel, you can hit this add channels here, and you can either create one if you wish, or browse the channels. And so I've joined a lot. I like having a lot of different channels. You don't have to. You know, back when I was using this for work, I had 40 channels, got all of these clients to take care of, and it was a lot of headaches, but this is all fun. So let's say yelling. I'll join the yelling channel just for kicks here. This one's kind of a joke that Steve Pollock created. And so I'll join it, hit the join channel button. And now you can see that got added to all of the list of the channels that I have here on my kind of column here. So here's an example of a post. I can, now that I'm in yelling, I can go in this bottom bar and I can say, when cars go by me too fast, I yell, you know the rules, in a Hawaiian surfer accent.
Wait a minute, that's all you yell?
Oh, I've got a whole bunch of things that I yell.
Yeah,
Listen,
sure.
I got a few more for you.
Okay, so here we go. So what I want a couple of you guys to do is add the yelling channel. And then if any of you have the instance of Slack already ready, see if you can add the yelling channel so it'll show that you join it. And then you can go into this post that I made and you can start a thread. So for example, and I'll show you how to, there you go. Okay, somebody joined. So I'll show you how to do a thread. I'll go back to the ride planning here that Lorraine had. And then looking at this post here, let's see. There should be a way to do threads. Oh, maybe it's over here. Where is it? Okay, so let me go over here. Okay, you see these little icons. The icons on the top right of any post, you can either add a reaction, which is the emojis, or you can reply in thread, share a message, or save it. So I'm going to reply to Lorraine's post here, and I'm replying in thread, and then it pulls up this little text box, and I'll say, oh, wow, that ride looked fun. And I'm sorry I missed it. So once I do that, as you can see, it has a one reply under that message, and then other people can go and go under thread, because that's a topic that not everybody needs to see, like kind of scrolling through the feed of the AB ride planning. So for example, this already happened, and people want to talk about next weekend's ride that they're planning. So threads are great for it's only conversation about that one thing. So if we go back to yelling, somebody already gave the thumbs up, which is great, but somebody could say, oh, I speak in Hawaiian too when I'm yelling at cars. But then if somebody wants to say, I do a different kind of yelling, there's other things that I say, then they can just kind of do another message. So that's kind of the difference just between a reaction and a reply in thread. And then of course, if you want to follow that, you can add it to your saved items by hitting that little bookmark. And as you can see, it's highlight on the post there. So that's something that you can always go back to your saved items. And if I go here and click on that, And as you can see under my saved items, it has that new post that I made.
Joe, I have two questions.
Sure,
This is Billy.
sure.
Is it possible to create a channel that is private just to certain members, so not everybody else can join it?
Yeah, I've done that before for work. So example, I was a accounts guy for sales. And so I would have certain teams where I'd have the client services team reps and I'd have the sales consultants and strategic consultants. And so I'd have to have like a team of 7 people for 40 different accounts or whatever. So we would have specific channels that were only to a certain number of people. So let's see, it might be something for pro, and I'm not for the pro version. So
we actually have one. So Writer Dev is a private channel. So we've invited people that were interested in doing writer development.
Okay, great.
Right now, yeah. So if somebody was interested, they could join us now if they wanted to.
But
okay, great.
Who controls? Oh, so you've got to be invited to join that writer development channel?
If it's private, yes, you have to be.
Okay, so we could develop, like, say, for example, I'm thinking a board channel, just for the,
Absolutely. You
the
bet.
board to have its own discussions outside of the membership
You sure
regarding
could.
the club.
Okay, great. That sounds great. So I can do, like, for example, I'll try one here. Surfers who bike. And then I'll just put in a description, boards and bikes. And then I'll try here to make it private
Ah,
and share outside marine cyclists. Okay, that's something that's premium that I can't do.
Right.
But I'll hit the create. And now I can start adding people. So
Yep.
once I created it, it asks who to add, right?
That's
So let's say I don't know anybody that surfs and bikes right now. I hit skip for now. But see here that there's a little locked logo on the left-hand side.
got it.
That means that it's private. And now if I go in there, I am guessing. So I'm guessing that the controls are up here, because up here on the top right is with the face and the number is how many members there are. And so if I click on that, as I guessed, there's a find members or an add people. So I could click on the add people and then continue. And it has a lot of warnings there. So, if it's private. So, yeah, that's a great question. I just learned about that myself now here. So that's pretty cool. Let's get into
Where is all this stored on everybody's individual computers?
Well, so here's the thing. Usually if the instance of Slack is the free version, it only stores 30 days worth of messages and data. And so here's an example. So if we go into general, I'm clicking into the general channel. It starts, like I said, reverse order. So from today at the bottom, and now I'm going to test here. I'm going to just keep scrolling up. What's today? The 26th of April. So if I get, yeah, so I'm going, we must have pro. Is that right, you guys?
No, what we don't. We had it for a while. They had a preview that we tried. So there may be some extra stuff in there.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm scrolling up. I got to the 8th and I'm still going 8th of February, end of February. So for now, where's all of it stored? It's stored as far back as you want to scroll up for each different channel. So everything in general, you'll see there. But
on like Slack's cloud or something?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. That's great. And so as you can see in general here, there's 54 users that are on the top right there.
How long does the pro version allow us to save?
I think it's indefinitely, because that's how it was at work. And the reason why is, like, if I had to find within my Capital One team that somebody had been looking for a report of how they did on their quarterly performance from 2 years ago, I could scroll up, or just a search. And so as you can see here on the right, this is the thread still.
Right.
from the post that I made to Lorraine's post, yet I'm still on the general channel here on the middle. So you can always X out of this, and then on the right, you can X out of the thread, and then you'll have a full panel here of your channel conversations. But what I was going to talk about was that if you are looking for something and you don't want to scroll like for months and you don't know exactly where it was, you can always go ahead and do a search. So let me get my tray back up here. Where's that search we're looking for? Oh, it might
Down at
be
the
under-
bottom.
Yeah, hold on a second here. I have a search at the top. So you see here it says search Marin cyclist.
Yeah.
I'll just do, let's just try. Okay, so it says search, and okay, you can choose to search everywhere. So if I type it in here, it's going to search everywhere. And then you can search within general if you wish. I'm just going to search within everywhere and see if anybody's talking about the Solvang centric. So I'll hit that. And here's my results. I get, what do we see here? Moving my little controls over. Okay, they're talking about rain. They're talking about the double century. This is back in February. So it's a good way to not have to keep going up to find stuff that maybe somebody talked about before, right? So whenever you're thinking about making a post, for example, I don't know, Davis double is coming up. Is that one of the double centuries coming up? Then before I want to make a post on the Davis double, I might just want to see, are people already talking about it somewhere? And is it on a channel that I'm not subscribed to? So if I hit Davis, okay, Margie's talking about it on the 14th of March for the Davis double. And she's just asking if somebody is going to do it. So anybody could now still go into general and say, hey, is anybody going to do the Davis double? And then that sort of, gets the conversation going. There's nothing really wrong with having multiple conversations about the same thing, but it does help to kind of keep things clean by putting it in the right channel if you can, and then also making a thread if you want to have a good conversation that everybody can follow about that topic. So generally it's going to be in the general channel that I'd recommend people be to be putting their posts. But obviously, if it's very specific, for example, if you want to talk about nutrition, I'm just clicking on the nutrition channel here. Looks like not many people have been talking there, so I'll just do a quick, okay, what's your favorite electrolyte drink? Okay, so now anybody can reply in thread. I think I might even be able to do it to my own. Yeah, so I can go in and reply into my own post, and it comes up on the right there, and I'll just say I'll start.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Okay.
IPA.
Okay, chocolate milk. And then I can do, let's see. And with italics there, so you have controls for the different, bold, italic, strike through, or a link. Chocolate milk, and then I got to click off again. IPA, and then I'll put together. Oh, wait. And then I can, I didn't bold it, so I'll highlight it and then bold it. And then I'll just type in, okay, we're still in bold, so I'll take it off of bold. Is that so wrong? And you can put an emoji within your own post there. So I'll put I don't know, put like a crazy face or something like that. this one. I kind of, so it's kind of saying I'm sort of anonymous about that, but sort of not. So anyway, that's a post where obviously you'd want to have it about the specific channel. Let's get into direct messages. As you can see on the bottom there, I've got a number of people that I have had direct messages with. And this one from Greg here, it just said, Greg joined Slack. So I'll say, hi, glad to see you here. And then that's my one-on-one direct message with Greg Lund. So it's just like Facebook Messenger. It's just like Instagram direct messenger, or even like Google direct messenger. Nobody's going to see these. And, it's just between you. You can also do multiple messages. So for example, a new conversation. So I could probably do like one, let's see, with okay. Let's see, 1 second. I can do one with Billy, and then I can also do one with Renton. And so here I'm creating a conversation just with the three of us. And so anything that I type in here is just going to be with the three of us. And then I can type my message, just the three of us. And then I'll do a little music emoji, like the song, but not the song. And then Billy and Renton, you should see that message, and you should see it just in the group between of us. So I did a lot of that for the group here when I was, we got 5 minutes left on Zoom. So I had really meant to make this more about questions than a kind of a tutorial. I just got the 5-minute warning from Steven here. Do any of you guys have questions? I mean, I know we only have a few minutes, but I'm willing to entertain as long as the Zoom works for us. Oh, it's got a shot clock on me. But I'd love to kind of go through anything that any of you guys have.
I have some more questions, but I've already asked them. So if there are others, let's let them go first. Anybody? Okay. Joe, my question.
No, I don't have any. This is great. There are things I learned that I didn't know about. So now I have a better overview of how to use it.
Cool.
Joe, can we store documents on Slack?
Yes, yes, you can. So the typical way that people do document sharing is within the threads. So for example, if I'm on the let's see, surfers who, like, let's say I'm on my own channel here, I can go, and instead of just making a regular post, I can add a video.
Okay.
Oh, that's a record. I can add, so you hit the plus button on the bottom left there.
Yeah.
When you hit that, you can attach files. You can upload from your computer.
All right.
So that's something that you can do, or just have links. So a lot of times people will just post a link, and that's kind of maybe a link to like Google Drive or something like that.
So you still have you're still in control of the documents. They're not stored on Slack's cloud. So if we want, you have to have them somewhere, right?
Well, usually they're all links. The documents, usually it's not really the document that's saved there as much as it's a link in most cases. For example, like a Google Doc where you already have authorizations for users to be able to access or edit. And
Right.
then if you put a link here, or if you upload the document, it'll post there. Like if it's a PDF, you can post that. But in most cases, when people are doing work in progress type documents, it's Google Docs. I don't know if at the Marin Cyclist there's a preferred choice.
Yeah,
or
we,
not.
we do use the Google Drive, but we're trying to pare it down because we have to do a paid account
Yes.
starting in a couple months. So we're trying to figure out, how we can communicate and how we can store stuff and keep our costs down.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
So
Joe,
that's the-
Yes.
would Slack be an alternative to our Google account?
You know, it's meant for sharing and communicating, but it's not a replacement for email. So if you're using Google for email, then that's definitely and it's not a like an Office Tools type product either.
So Billy,
Yeah.
we can talk about this off the Zoom, maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow time.
Sure.
Perfect.
About some, ideas I have to reduce our costs, I think.
Perfect.
And have communication still be there, but not have so many people, we're like 20 people and,
Okay.
$7 a year, so.
Okay. I have the minute warning, so we might just get kicked off, but I want to say thanks for everybody attending. I'd love to have a second session if anybody else would want to.
Most definitely.
but,
Thank you, Joe, for putting this together. It's very helpful.
Yes,
my
thank you,
pleasure.
Joe.
Oh, I love this stuff. So, and the benefit to me is that I get to communicate with more of you if more of you are on the platform. And, I'd like to do a couple more of these at the least, whether it's still getting